Jose Chalhoub, policy and energy analyst at Jose Parejo and Associates. Jose, your 15 minutes of fame didn't last very long. We apologize for stealing your sunlight, but what's been happening in Venezuela? I see you've got lights on. That seems to be progress. Most often when we talked with you, you were in the dark, literally. Give us an update of where things are at in Venezuela and in the quiet and outside the spotlight. Are things progressing? What's your current outlook?
Thank you very much. And well, after a long break, after I think I haven't been here ever since the airstrikes on January the 3rd. So yeah, well, things in the oil dynamics here in Venezuela has been changing kind of dramatically, taking into consideration the period of time in the last 2 to 3 months between Venezuela and the United States after the airstrikes and after the Trump administration kind of imposed like a de facto leader such as Delcy Rodriguez, who's the acting president after the extraction of Maduro. The dynamics between PDVSA and the United States is quite dramatically different, but who's in control right now of all the exports from PDVSA to the United States are the two most important traders who got the license from the Trump administration, which are Trafigura and Vitol. Those traders are the ones controlling every single cargo of oil that comes out from Venezuela to the United States, to Europe, and even to China in some minor extent. So in that case, we have some sort of tutelage, in terms of who's controlling right now oil exports, not by PDVSA, but by Trafigura and Vitol. And also, we have been receiving lots of visits by different U.S. Members of the government's oil executives in the last, 3 to 4 weeks, reflecting the interest and the change of dynamics between the United States and Venezuela right now. But that also needs to be translated into new, fresh investments to reflect or kind of translate the euphoria that the Trump administration and Trump per se showed after the airstrikes, and kind of saying that Venezuela will be one of the biggest producers of oil, that Venezuela will be receiving lots of money, lots of fresh money, but that hasn't been translated effectively in the Venezuelan economy so far. And we have been seeing huge discontents from the population because of the lowest salary in Venezuela.
You'll be glad to know that Vitol just reported that they made $2 billion of profit in the first quarter. Even if Venezuela didn't make any money, Vitol made $2 billion, as was reported in the Financial Times the other day. Jose, I wanted to get some insights from you. If you are the ghost of Christmas future for the Gulf. Like, has there been regime change in Venezuela? There's a new leader, part of the same regime, but she does seem to be behaving very well, according to Washington. Is there regime change that would Iran look a little bit like what's gone on in Venezuela? How do you see it from the ground there?
Yeah, well, politically speaking, I mean, the current acting president, Delcy Rodriguez, well, she had no other choices but to kind of keep on obeying instructions from Washington after the airstrikes. But political regime, political system is pretty much intact. You have the different or the most sensitive posts still the same. Well, there were recently changes at the Ministry of Defense and other critical posts, but the entire system is still intact. The hottest issue right now here in Venezuela and the population is if there will ever be new presidential elections. If this will be this year, you have the opposition leader Maria Corina Machado holding rallies in different countries, like the recent one in Madrid, for example. And there's this kind of the unknown on whether if Marco Rubio and Trump will finally give, their support to Maria Corina Machado and Edmundo Gonzalez to finally return to Venezuela and to push for new presidential elections and to finally prompt a political change completely in Venezuela. Because as we have heard here, the different oil executives from Washington, from the U.S., they are kind of still reluctant to push for more fresh investments with the current political system here, and also they are pushing for more reforms of their newly reformed law of hydrocarbons. So you can tell that the current political situation here in Venezuela is kind of the same. It's not a tutelage because you have still the Delcy Rodriguez. You have Jorge Rodriguez, brother of Delcy Rodriguez, as president of the National Assembly. You have kind of the Iranian embassy, you have the Cuban embassy still operating here in Venezuela, although in a lesser extent, in kind of a changing attitude, but still the political situation is still the same here.
Jose, in the sort of outlook for Venezuela, does Venezuela own its own oil industry anymore? And oil own in the sense of, does it control? Does it get the revenue? Does it determine its future? Or has it remained a country and lost its oil industry? How do you see it? What would be the right way when I'm at a dinner party this weekend in Dubai and somebody asks me what's going on in Venezuela? What would be the smart answer to that question?
Well, for now, I feel, and after different talks with people that worked with me at the past, I mean, and they're still working there. I mean, I feel that for now and until this Trump term ends and wraps up, I think that for now PDVSA is under full control of the United States. I mean, and in terms of oil exports, as I've been saying, I mean, we are not fully independent. I mean, the U.S. is in full control, Trafigura and Vitol,
I mean, if
uh,
Trafigura and Vitol take a tanker of oil and sell it to China, where does the money go?
to the
The
U.S.
Vitol bank account?
to the U.S. banks. I mean, because there have been so many troubles right now because Qatar was at the beginning part of this whole transaction, mediating between the U.S. and Venezuela. All the funds initially were transferred to the Qatar National Bank, but that's not the case anymore. And that, I mean, there's delays right now in terms of transferring money from the U.S. to Venezuela, currently. So in my view, for now, there's a current tutelage by the U.S. over PDVSA. Let's see what happens after Trump ends.